Our group chose the topic money growing in a savings account for our mini project, which relates to a key concept we learned in this semester's discrete mathematics course, recurrence relations. Firstly, let me explain briefly what are the concept of recurrence relations. So as we know, recurrence relations are a very powerful mathematical concept in solving certain counting problems as they express the nth element of a sequence in terms of its previous terms. So they are also closely connected to recursive algorithms, making them very valuable for analyzing and also designing such algorithms. By combining these two concepts of compound interest and recurrence relations, our group aims to explore how recurrence relations can be applied to model and calculate compound interest, demonstrating how they can be used to analyze the growth of money in a savings account over time.
Now I'm going to talk about what is compound interest. Compound interest grows not only from the principal but also from previously earned interest different with simple interest, which is calculated only on the principal. This compounding effect causes our money to grow faster over time. The general formula for compound interest is shown here. It depends on 5 variables where P represents the amount you invest initially, R represents the interest rate in decimal form, N represents the frequency of compounding in a year, and T represents how long the money is invested. As the time and compounding frequency increase, so does the total amount A. This geometric growth is why compound interest is so powerful. Besides that, compound interest can also be modeled using recurrence relations. A recurrence relation is a relationship where each item in a sequence is defined as a function of its previous term. When applied to compound interest, this type of relation helps us model how an investment grows over discrete time periods, showing a gradual increase in its value. The formula recurrence relation for compound interest can be expressed as shown in the slide, where AM plus 1 is the value after a period and R is the growth factor, derived from the interest rate and compounding frequency. For more direct calculation, we can derive the closed form solution. Let's look at an example. If you invest 18,000 ringgit at an annual rate of 6%, compounded annually, the growth factor becomes 1.005. Using the closed form solution, over 10 years, the investment reaches 18,920 ringgit and 52 cents. This calculation shows how an initial deposit grows over time due to compound interest. The recurrence relation provides a clear and effective method for modeling this growth in financial scenarios.
So I will talk about compound interest in saving account. So the first one is about its definition. So compound interest in a savings account means that not only does your principal earn interest, but the accumulated interest also continues to generate more interest. Then I will talk about 3 types of compound interest in saving account. So for the first one is high yield savings account. So high yield savings account function pay a high amount of interest. The average savings account was yielding around 0.46% in December 2023. So investors could consider anything above that as high. So this is the example of it. Then the second one is money market accounts. So money market accounts are similar to high yield savings accounts. They have a big difference that the money market accounts allow you to write checks and make debit purchases. So this is an example of it. So the last one is certificate of deposit CD accounts. So a CD is an account where you deposit a lump sum of money for a specific period. You usually cannot withdraw the money before the specified period ends. So this is an example of it. Then we will talk about how to calculate compound interest. So for different types of saving accounts, they all use compound interest formula to calculate interest, but the main difference lies in the compounding frequency. So for example, if you choose daily compounding and your annual interest rate is 4.5%, then you will get this equation and your final amount is 1046.02. You can also use this formula to calculate monthly compounding, quarterly compounding, and annual compounding. So the last one, we will talk about how to make the most compound interest accounts. So for the first one is to start as soon as possible. So because compound interest offers increasing returns over time, so the more time you have, the better. So the second one is to stay invested. So because withdrawing money will decrease the amount, so which will decrease with your overall returns. So I think that's all for my part. So thank you.
Let's see a practical example. Let's say we have a Malaysian student named Haikal who put an initial deposit of 10,000 ringgit in a public bank with account type high yield savings account. The annual interest rate is 5% with compounding frequency monthly, and the investment duration is 5 years. Let's see how much money Haikal will get at the end of 5 years. This expression determines how much an investment increases over time because of compounding. It illustrates how a single unit of currency, for example like 1 ringgit, will expand after a certain number of compounding periods at a specific rate. For example, if you compute it, you'll find out the factor that indicates how much your investment will grow after 5 years of monthly compounding. So instead of doing the calculation 60 times, we can do it like this. Okay, now since we have all the value to substitute into the formula, we can do it like so. And then we can know how much Haikal's money at the end of 5 years.
Are several applications of compound interest in daily life, such as savings account, investment, loan, mortgages, growth, and decay in population. However, we will be focusing particularly on savings account. Examples of savings account in Malaysia: Bank through Saver account offer 0.25% interest per annum for account balance with less than 5,000 ringgit and 0.75% interest per annum for account balance more than 5,000 ringgit. E-Flex account offers 0.5% base interest and can earn a bonus interest of 1.9% if we can maintain the balance account more than 20,000 ringgit. Next, UOB1 account. UOB1 account offer 0.1% interest per annum for account balance less than 100,000 ringgit and 0.2% per annum for account balance with more than 100,000 ringgit. However, we are able to earn a bonus interest of 4% if we met at a specific requirement, such as we spend a minimum of 500 ringgit using card. OCBC Bank 360 account. So this savings account offers 0.1% base interest. However, if we deposit at least 500 ringgit every month, we are able to earn additional 1.05%. It has been shown that we can calculate compound interest in saving account using recurrent relation. It is essential to understand recurrent relation in the context of compound interest for effective financial planning. The ability to model and predict growth of money over time can significantly impact long-term financial outcome, emphasizing the necessity of saving money early and allow them to grow through compounding effect.